You've been programmed to fear yourself, and I'm going to prove it, okay? But bear with me, all right? Because this is how it came to me in my mind. So take what resonates, okay? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The human race is made up of male and female counterparts, right? Masculine and feminine. But within each individual human, we have masculine and feminine traits. Not just that, but our psyche, our brain is also made up of masculine and feminine as well. The masculine is the conscious mind, the material world around us, the things that we know and can see and touch, etc. Whereas the subconscious mind is the feminine mind is the subconscious mind. It's all of the emotions and intuition and the dreams and the mystery, right? And there is no coincidence that we are in a male-dominated society where femininity is demonized and cast out, right? It's considered irrational, illogical, crazy, etc. And it's not just women who experience this, because women, yes, have been demonized for a very long time. It starts from a very young age. As soon as we come out the womb as women, we are put in a box to act a certain way. And as we get older, even as children, little girls have to sit down with their legs crossed and be ladylike, whereas little boys are still able to explore and be children. But with that same notion, little boys who are overly emotional and very sensitive are told to man up or toughen up, whereas a little girl who has that same trait is called dramatic. It's like the emotions that are so important for us and our psyche. It's the biggest part. Our subconscious mind makes up 95% of our brain activity, but that is the side that is pushed away and told is irrational. And as you get older, you just have these feelings and this intuition that you constantly ignore because you're told that emotions aren't logical. You can't rely on them alone. You have to sit and think, use your brain, not your heart. So whereas you have these strong intuitive feelings within yourself, but because you don't have proof, you don't have physical proof, you don't listen to it, and you have to get validation outside of yourself instead of trusting yourself. This is all programming. This is all programming, and it's all intentional. We even see this within male-dominated religions like Christianity, where Lilith and Eve are demonized. They're bad. They're not good women. Eve seduced Adam into eating the tree of knowledge, right? Eating the fruit of knowledge. And Lilith wasn't putting up with any of that crap and dipped out immediately. With all of that, right? Now let's bring it back to our subconscious mind, because this is the part that we fear. This is the part of ourselves that we fear, and we don't realize that we are fearing ourselves, but we are, and we've been programmed to do so. Because think about your brain for a minute, right? Think about all of the things, all of the programs that have been placed upon you that you believe to be true and that has kept you from stepping out into doing the things that you have a calling for. For me, you could say it's like the fear of being seen. A lot of people have a fear of being seen, and it's because they tell you need to shrink yourself. As a woman specifically, you need to shrink yourself, not be seen, just be cute, be quiet, right? So even though I have this urge to be seen, I still have that lingering fear of actually being seen. I have the fear of doing the very thing that I want to do. That's the programming, to keep you in the box that they want you to be in, because you are very easy to control and manipulate if you don't know yourself, if you fear the very parts of yourself, right? And with this new surge of New Age spirituality, you would think that everyone's, becoming open and knowing all of themselves. But spirituality is the new religion. It is also a trap when you're not looking at it within, if you're still going out. And I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me when I started my spiritual journey, coming out of religion. And I waited years before I started dabbling into spirituality and learning. And one of the things that you do when you're starting something new is learn. You want to seek knowledge from other sources, right? But the thing about seeking outside knowledge is that you have to understand and know yourself before taking in knowledge as fact. Because all my life, this is an example, just to reel it all in, all of my life, ever since I was a little child, all the way up until now, I have always had a mirror facing my bed. I like to look at myself. Let's be real. I have never had an issue with nightmares. I've never had an issue with negativity or any of the things that relates to mirrors facing your bed, right? Because they tell you that your subconscious mind is very active while you're sleeping, which is true, and that mirrors are portals, and that if it's facing you, then you are basically vulnerable to lower tier entities, negativity to come at you, right? But all my life, I've never had that experience. But because I started my spiritual journey and I learned this information, it scared me. Do you see how quickly I was easy to program? Do you see how easy that was for me to believe something completely different from my entire life that I've actually experienced? How quickly it was for me to not trust my intuition because of what other people experience. That is why when you're on your spiritual journey, you should always go within. That is the whole point of spirituality, because they took over this to repackage it because they know that they couldn't control people from tapping into spirituality because people want to get away from religion, right? But now they still have they still have the power over you because they're using it to fearmonger you and your belief systems. The thing about your subconscious is that this is the power. Whatever you believe to be true is true. Whatever you believe to be true is true. And they know that. That is why from a young age, they programmed your subconscious to believe certain things as truth. And you believe them. And you believe them. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. It was no one's fault. And the thing is that the people older than us who instilled that same programming on us, it's not their fault either, because guess what? They were also programmed. It's just a long line of programming, right? Because if you know that you have the power, you can't be manipulated anymore. You cannot be controlled. Think about marketing, okay? And this is proof right here that you know that your mind is powerful and that it is you. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't need marketing. They wouldn't need to put up the same ad every 30 minutes when you watch your favorite TV show, to the point where now you know that ad by heart. And next thing you know, you're buying that ad or looking into that ad because you just want to see. That's because they know that if you're constantly seeing something without being consciously aware of the coding that they're putting into you, that is going to seep in your subconscious as truth and belief. And you're going to dive into it and you're going to buy from them. That's literally marketing. When you repetitively see something, it becomes truth in your subconscious. Now, truly think about how powerful your brain is if there is an entire system to program your beliefs, your belief. Think about how powerful you are if they have to create an entire system to program you into believing certain things. Think about that. And the fact that they, I don't know who they is, okay? I'm saying they because I don't know. It could be the system. It could just be the way the world was set up. Whatever it is, they did that. And they're still not winning because we are still waking up and realizing the truth every single day. So, to keep yourself from fearing is to stop letting people program you. You need to be more intentional and conscious of the content you consume. And I'm not saying, oh, don't watch it, but more so saying, watch it consciously, notice it, decode it in the moment that this is programming. They're trying to program me. It won't work, right? You like to scroll on TikTok every once in a while. You know, everybody has a guilty pleasure. Now, I will say don't do too much social media. You do need a break, but everybody has a guilty pleasure, right? So you want to scroll on TikTok or YouTube. You like watching my videos, hey, including me, okay? So if you're watching me, if something doesn't resonate with you, do not let that become a part of your subconscious, because this is my journey. This is my life. This is what I'm sharing. You need to take what resonates with you and leave whatever doesn't. Anything that's coming up on your screen and it instantly causes fear, do not claim that. It's not yours. It's not yours. It's a program being placed upon you to keep you from knowing yourself. Because when you realize that your entirety, the entirety of you, your left and your right side brain, your conscious and your subconscious, when you truly love all of you and know who you are unstoppable. That's true protection. Knowing who you are is true protection. Standing 10 toes down about yourself is true protection. Because nobody can throw any type of energy, no type of subconscious programming your way without you knowing who you are and knowing what they're trying to do. That is why in situations of, domestic violence, they usually go after women who are unaware of who they are, who are insecure and just truly don't know themselves. And that is why many women, the confident ones, have never been placed in those situations. It's because they know the victims to go after. So you need to start knowing yourself. Look at yourself. Tap into your subconscious. All those traumas and fears and embarrassing moments that happened years ago, and as soon as you lay down and try to go to sleep, it want to pop up randomly, and now you're embarrassed all over again when it happened 20 years ago. All of those. Show all of that love. Show all of it love. Release those feelings of fears, insecurities, embarrassing moments. Know that you are whole, you are deserving, you are worthy, you are everything, literally. Your brain creates your reality, and they want to control your brain. But they can't if you do not consent to it. If you do not consent to it. But you have to be intentional about it, because if you're not intentional, then you're consenting. An unaware person is consenting, but you're aware now because you're here watching this video. You and me, we're aware and we know the truth now. So moving forward, pay attention to everything. You don't have to dive deep into it. Don't become a conspiracy theorist, because at the end of the day, this journey is about bettering yourself, bettering you. So anything outside of that, you're doing too much, and now you're just feeding into another fear, So stick with yourself, right? And pay attention to your emotions when they arise, how you feel when people say certain things, and you get to decide what you consent to. You get to decide, this doesn't align with me. This is not a part of my belief system. I do not claim that. Someone tries to instill fear. Oh, you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z. And you've done that before, or you haven't done it before, but you didn't have no beef with it before. But now all of a sudden you feel a little anxious, inside. Don't claim that. That's their belief. That's what they went through. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody is in their own world. Everyone is making up their own reality. And you do not have to accept someone else's reality. You get to decide you. Stop letting them fear yourself. You're letting them make you fear yourself. And stop it. Stop it. We know the truth now. So pay attention. Be conscious of all of the content you consume, even the spiritual content, because like I said, that's the new religion. It's all about programming still. True spirituality is going within and trusting yourself. Build the intuition within you. It is okay to learn. It is okay to read books, to watch videos about any of the interests that you have. But know at the end of the day that what resonates with you should stay. And anything else does not have to be a part of your belief system if you do not want it to be. That's all I have for this video, guys. I really want to get this out because let me tell you something. I had this download, this whatever. What's it called? Epiphany. Yeah, I had this epiphany and I was like, I have to tell my peoples. I have to tell y'all. But I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Elle. For those of you who are new, I am a spiritual creative. This is my spiritual channel. I also have a creative channel where I paint and talk about all things creativity. And I also have a Patreon where I dive even deeper on these spiritual and creative topics. So all of that will be listed down in the description box. Make sure you give this video a like, leave comments down below. Anything that relates to you and your, spiritual journey, I would love to know and communicate and discuss with you guys down in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.